Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Today's video is going to be a great one. We're going to talk about 5 everyday carries that you need to be putting in your bag, on your person, in your hands, in your pocket, in your purse, wherever it may be. You need to make sure you have these on you at all times, because when it comes down to safety and precaution, if something was to go down and you're not home, where are you at? What do you have in your possession and how you can get back safely? So these are the 5 everyday carries, some steered towards males, some steered towards females, but today's gonna be a great video and it starts right now.
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave.
Hey guys, as I said in the intro, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Max. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, and give us a thumbs up. That is how you tell YouTube that our video is somewhat important, and hopefully it will be shared amongst a lot of folks. So thank you so much for coming along. Now today's video is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about everyday carries and things that you need to have on your person or have on yourself or have in your bag. If you're a male and you're wearing a handbag or a briefcase, that's good, but most of the time men carry things in their pockets or their belts, so we're going to kind of talk about that too. Women, you tend to carry things like a purse or things like a handbag. That's great too. We're going to talk about some options that will be perfect for you, because ultimately you have a little bit bigger area to carry some things in. So without further ado, let's start with number 1. When we talk about preparation, we talk about being prepared, we talk about survival and your everyday carries. Now, on me at all times, if I'm anywhere, especially away from my property, but even on my property, I'm carrying number 1. And I challenge you to do the same thing. My wife does the same thing as well. But number 1 is a firearm. If not a firearm, a defense mechanism. Now, for me, it is a firearm. I like carrying a firearm. I carry it in 2 or 3 different places, which I don't disclose to a lot of folks, but I do have my firearms on me at all times. That is a defensive tool that I carry. I'm an enhanced carry permit holder through our state, so make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. I don't open carry. I think that's dangerous, because you're telling everybody, hey, look at me, I have a gun. So I don't open carry at all. Everywhere I carry is very concealed. I want to make sure that at all times that you don't know what I'm carrying. Now, that being said, I use certain concealed holsters, and we'll be talking about that in another video. I'm trying to line up a little special for you so you can see the phenomenal holsters that we are using, and I think you would be very happy with those. If you're a concealed carry permit holder and you like to be concealed when you carry, so don't open carry. Now, I carry a firearm. My wife also carries a firearm, especially if she's not with me. Now, say you have a handbag and say you're scared of a defense weapon like a gun. That's okay. They do make non-lethal defense mechanisms and defense weapons. So one looks just like a gun. It's basically like a little BB or a little pepper ball or a little rubber ball. If you played paintball when you were a kid, it reminds you of that. It does leave a sting, it will leave a welt, but it won't actually kill them. So that is a defense mechanism. Also, pepper spray. My wife keeps some with her as well at all times. That's a good option for someone who is wanting defense but does not want to carry anything that they have to have a trigger on or anything they have to hold that looks like a gun. So pepper spray would be another good option there. A taser. You can buy tasers, especially, I mean, you can look online and get them on Amazon. Actually, we carry some in our bug out bags personally. Even I have one for one of my children. And then my wife carries one in her car. So that's a defense mechanism as number 1. Again, firearms, pepper spray, non-lethal bullets, or a taser. You need to have number 1 being a defense mechanism on your. So we talked about a typical defense mechanism or a defensive tool that you are carrying. Number 2 would be a knife. A simple knife. Now, with me, I carry a knife, again, all the time. It's very good to have. If my wife is in her car, there's one in the car. Pretty much if you see me with pants on, I am wearing a knife as well. It's one of those things to have. Now, I'm not saying you have to have a 7-inch blade or 5-inch blade or a 4-inch blade. I think that's used at your discretion. But I do say you need some kind of knife on you at all times. So now we've talked about defense mechanism. Why knife? Knife not only can be used as a defense mechanism, but is really for the fact of a true universal tool. If you need to cut something, if you need to, say you're in a situation where you come up on a wreck, it's always good to have something to cut your clothes. It's always good to have something to be able to cut somebody out, like a seatbelt cutter. Now, there is a lot of tools that you can have on you, and if we get into a bug out vehicle and bug out bag video, we're going to talk about a lot of those tools. But when we talk about living and having an everyday carry and having something on you at all times, a lot of those things need to be universal. Now there may be other tools like a glass breaker or like a seat belt puller that would work just as fine. However, in the case where you're not going to have 40 things on your person or in your pockets at all times. So I would say a firearm or a self-defense mechanism is number one. Number two would be a universal knife. Make sure it's a stronger knife that you can do anything with. Number three is a flashlight. You always need a flashlight on. Now I carry a little one, it's a little O light, and of course I'll show it to you right here. Now this little flashlight I carry on my keys because it's small, it's dainty, and I can put it in my pocket. Say for instance I'm in my truck though, or I'm in a little bit different clothing and I'm outdoor, I'm carrying a bigger flashlight. I'm just saying you need something just in case it gets dark, just in case your car breaks down, just in case you're out at dark and you need a light. Just have a small flashlight. It doesn't have to be a laser beam, but it needs to be something that can help you see and a little bit more eyesight in areas of darkness. So number three would be a flashlight. It's pretty easy to know that you need a flashlight. Now if you have a purse, it's always good to have a bigger flashlight. Maybe you can hold one the next size up. And again, in our vehicles we have the bigger flashlight, but I'm talking about on us, I just carry a little small O light. It's perfect. You want to make sure your flashlight is as small as it can be, but also carrying as much lumens as possible so you can see further out. And it's just, again, a safety issue. So number four, kind of like the flashlight, I would say carry a lighter. Make sure you have a lighter on you. Now if you are a smoker, of course you probably have one in your pocket. I don't smoke, but it's one of those things I want to make sure I'm keeping a lighter close to me. Now I'm not saying you have to carry this big monster kerosene burner, and I'm not even saying you have to carry a big one. It could be just a small one. Just to having a source of fire and a source of light, just kind of like the flashlight, it's just another way to have safety and security. If you're needing to stay warm, you never know what situation you may be put in if all of a sudden you have to leave your vehicle and it's cold outside. You never know. So we're doing a bug out vehicle and a bug out bag video coming up very, very soon. But again, just thinking about things on you. You've got your safety and firearms. You have your universal tools such as your knife. You have your flashlight for, again, seeing and making sure you can see it no matter what time it is. And number four would be a lighter, because again, it's another universal tool that you would need. Going along with that would be number five. Number five is another universal multi-tool. So a Leatherman multi-tool, kind of like this one here, or you can do a wallet style multi-tool like this one here. Basically, I have both of those. I tend to carry this one, the one that's in my wallet, more just because it's smaller, it's confidential. I can put it in my pocket and it's not really a big deal. You can also carry that multi-tool just in a little money clip. So again, it helps you have things like it even has a way you can turn the screw. It has a way that you can cut. It's got a little saw on it. It's a really unique little tool that I think is cool to have. Now the bigger multi-tool that we were just talking about, the Leatherman, anything like that, it's always good to have. Now if that one's too bulky for you, they make a little side harness you can put on your belt. There's nothing wrong with that. If I'm in the woods, I may have a lot on my belt. If I'm just going to town, I may not want that one because it is kind of bulky. It's kind of like my concealed carry. It's kind of like my knife. I want to have as much in my pockets or as much not seen, so that way I'm just almost like a gray man. I really just kind of blend in with everybody else. If you're carrying a big gun on one side, you're carrying this big pepper spray and taser on the other side, or you're carrying this something going down your leg like a big knife, you're going to bring attention to yourself. Well, the whole point of survival and preparedness, and also just kind of blending in and being the gray man, is you want to make sure that you're carrying things, but you're carrying them in a very inconspicuous way. You're making sure they're concealed. Same way with ladies and my wife. If she's carrying any of these things, which she does, she carries variants of all these things. It may be in a side purse, or it may be in what she carries, like a side strap purse sometimes, or it may be in a little handbag. We want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and having these necessities on us. Now, is this everything that I think you should be carrying? No. But I do think these are a lot of the things that you need to be carrying on you at all times. When we get into the bug out vehicle and we get into the bug out bag, we'll have a lot more of these discussions. But on the fact that you're carrying with you so you can be inconspicuous, you can be the gray man, your ladies are carrying a purse that she can actually hold, you have things in your pocket, I would say these are 5 everyday carries that I personally carry that you need to have on you, and you need to take care of yourself by getting back to wherever you're supposed to be going. This is kind of one of those scenarios where you see a bad situation go down and you have some things on you that might can help. But it's not one of those things as these are all the essentials. These are just to get you by, to get you out of a situation, to maybe get you back home or get you on the road. So I hope these things help. Make sure you're carrying these 5 things. Remember, number 1 comes in so many different variables. Also, number 5 comes in so many different variables. Carry some of these on you. Make sure you have them, and that way you can be safe. God bless, guys. Happy homesteading, y'all.
This is rare, and I wanna take you there.